Good morning from the office. I know it's only 7 a.m. I'm BKP. You're watching Good Morning from the Office. At the bottom of your screen is Chief at FetcherNews.com. Chief at FetcherNews.com. If you want to be a part of the show, you want to get involved and send us something. I know it's 7 a.m. But I'm already looking at what would be good for lunch today. And that is the Woodbridge Inn down in Jasper. Spaghetti and meatballs is their blue plate special. So I just started today. I looked at here. I said spaghetti and meatballs. If blue plate special down at the Woodbridge Inn in Jasper. If you are and you're watching out there, if you're listening, I have the desk piled full of stuff you keep sending in. That keeps getting emailed to me, different subjects, things keep happening. So thank you very much out there for all that you send in. If you are a Bobcat wrestling fan, you're going to want to listen to this show today. If you're interested in Blue Ridge City Council, you're going to want to listen to this show today. If you're interested in how much it's going to cost to archive the emails at the Board of Education in Gilmer County, you're going to want to listen to this show today. If you're interested in the transportation bill, HB 170, one of the hottest topics in the whole state, you're going to want to listen to this show today and call people and tell them to tune in now. And if you have concerns, couple more things. If you have concerns, bus drivers out there, we already have a message. We're going to talk a little bit about that and the effects of the Governor Deal's budget on bus drivers and the possibility of losing their health insurance in this year's budget from the Gold Dome Governor Deal. You're going to want to listen to this show today. So no matter what, you're going to want to listen to this show. And if you've been following HB 170, the House bill, transportation bill, we're going to talk with, and if you're in Pickens County or Gilmer County and you're with the Board of Education, if you're a Board of Education member, you might want to, in Pickens County, you might want to call them up right now and say, hey, you need to listen to the show. Same thing with Gilmer, Board of Education members in Fannin County, because at 7:20, our special guest this morning at 7:20 will be Superintendent of Schools, Mark Hinson from Fannin County. Fannin County Superintendent of Schools Mark Hinson is going to call in, and we're going to talk, and you're going to want to be here for this. Wherever we're at in our newscast this morning, we're going to have to break at 7:20 and take his call. But Superintendent of Schools of Fannin County, Mark Hinson, we're going to talk to at 7:20. They have an upcoming special election, and many of the counties out there do. If you're listening from around the state anywhere, call your Board of Education members. We have listeners and viewers, South Georgia, over in Athens, many of you, we appreciate that you tune in and listen to us, but call your Board of Education members because Fannin County, like many of you, have a ESPLOST, Education Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax on the ballot in March to renew it. So we're going to talk to Mr. Hinson about why ESPLOST is important to your community, your county, what it does for education, and what could possibly happen with House Bill 170. Say that 3 times fast. Hey, you know what? If you didn't get that perfect night's sleep and you're trying to get your day going, and you know your rest is very important to get the most out of your day. So if that mattress is a problem, don't let it be a problem any longer. Go to Mattress Overstock. Make sure you tell them Fetcher News sent you. Please do that. Go to Mattress Overstock next to Walmart and LJ. Go see our friends Gary, Richard, or Rhonda, the mattress lady, for the best mattress at the best price. They truly want to help you sleep better. And also, if you're on the other end, we talking about lunch, talking about mattresses. If you're up in Blue Ridge, go to Ace Hardware Blue Ridge and check out their Amish furniture. So go do that. Let's get started this morning talking about Fannin County and some of the things you have coming up today. In Fannin County, remember, if you're on the McKaysville water system, they have an alert out. They're asking you please to conserve water. Do all you can to conserve water in McKaysville. They're asking you, as work continues to at the refurbishment of the McKaysville water plant. They're experiencing unexpected problems. Our water shortage is not recovering as quickly. So it's not recovering as fast as they thought it would. They've got some backwash and the new installed filter. So just go to FetcherNews.com, Fannin County, look on McKaysville water plant, conserve water. They have a special alert. So we want to give that. We want to help every day, all we can there, conserve water. Fannin County, you got a lot going on today. At 8 o'clock this morning, you have a Board of Education workshop. Board of Education workshops are held over at the Board of Education main office building. So if you know where the Board of Education main office building there, you have a workshop at 8 a.m. this morning. Your regular meeting is Thursday at 6 p.m. Also, Fannin County Board of Commissioners meet today at 5:15. So that today, Fannin County Board of Commissioners meet at 5:15. They meet in the courtroom the jury room in the courthouse. So they meet in the jury room of the courthouse, 5:15. That is today, Fannin County Board of Commissioners. Blue Ridge City Council is today at 6 p.m. And that will be at City Hall. And Blue Ridge City Council today at 6 p.m. held at City Hall. We will have that live today on FetcherNews.com. Go to FetcherNews.com, click on Fannin County, and then look for the big picture at the top of the screen that says Watch Live Blue Ridge City Council Workshop. That will be live if you're interested in watching at home at 6 p.m. Also, if you go to FetcherNews.com, Fannin County, and you scroll around the website, you'll see that we've added several things from Union County into the mix there, and we've also added Cherokee County, North Carolina, their arrest reports into the mix. So you'll see new things in there, Fannin, from Union and Cherokee. Again, that's up in Fannin County. Don't forget, tell everybody, tune in here at 7:20. We're going to be talking again. We're going to be talking to Mark Henson of Fannin County Superintendent of Schools. So that's several things going on in Fannin County. We also want to remember that you have a business after hours, and your business after hours is Fannin Chamber Business After Hours is today at 5:30, and that'll be held at Community and Southern Bank. So also February 14th, Fire and Ice Chili Cook-Off. Don't forget that. A lot of food, fun, and entertainment. You can't ask for anything. Downtown Blue Ridge, if you like a good chili cook-off, go to Downtown Blue Ridge this Saturday for Fire and Ice. Lady Rebels start region tournament play tonight. At 6 o'clock. It's over in Banks County. Long drive, but go over and support the Lady Rebels against Lumpkin tonight at 6. And the boys will kick off tomorrow night, Wednesday, at Banks County. That would be for 7 AAA region tournament. Okay, let's keep moving along here. Getting through here quite rapidly. Pickens County, we'll run over a couple quick things. We got a lot to go over in other areas. Again, if you're a Board of Education member, and about 12 minutes, we're going to be talking to Superintendent of Schools, Fannin County, Mark Henson. And if you're a Board of Education member anywhere within the state or a Superintendent of Schools, and you have concern about House Bill H170, you want to tune in at 7:20 and listen to that, what it could cost your county. Pickens, you have a Board of Education meeting Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pickens County, and that's held at the Pickens County Board of Education Conference Center. Pickens Park and Rec baseball, softball, and t-ball signups are going on right now. Don't miss out on that. Go to Pickens County Park and Rec website. Find out how to sign up for baseball, softball, and t-ball. Go to Park and Rec websites throughout all of North Georgia. Get your kids signed up this spring for baseball, softball, or t-ball. Also, soccer is starting and baseball season starting. And I'm going to give a quick shout out, breaking rank here. I'm going to give a quick shout out to a friend of mine that stopped by yesterday. They know how much I like baseball, and I've got a 1984 Sports Illustrated here. Yogi's back. Yogi Berra that is when he became the manager. And the great story in here is Cal Ripken Jr., born to be a superstar, 1984. Okay, that's great. Soccer, baseball is starting, so we want to keep up with that, and we'll be starting to watch that in the local area. This morning, the Chamber of Commerce in Pickens County, you'll be having your chamber membership breakfast at 7 a.m. That's the chamber membership breakfast, don't forget it, at Chattahoochee Technical College. So we want to run through some things. Now, we have so much stuff to get through today, and we want to thank you every day for continuing to send stuff in, that we don't want to miss out on everything here. If you're watching, you'll see everything I'm trying to get through on the desk. We don't want to forget all of our sponsors. We appreciate them, and without our sponsors, this would not be possible. So please always tell our sponsors you heard Good Morning from the Office. For one of the best hair care salons in North Georgia, one of the best hair care salons in North Georgia, go to Magic Touch Beauty Salon, located in Clock Tower 3 on Maddox Drive in Ellijay. Open 6 days a week from 8 to 6. Go to Magic Touch for Matrix and other must-have products. For the special touch you need for great hair care, remember, go to Magic Touch for that special touch. They're in Clock Tower 3 there on Maddox Drive. You can reach them at 706-635-5325. 706-635-5325. Magic Touch Beauty Salon. So thank you very much for being a part of our show. Hey, you know what? We talked yesterday when we opened the show. You know, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, why do you have to go there? But that's just me if you don't know me. Bruce Jenner, this is my Bruce Jenner of the day. Bruce Jenner went from the cover of the Wheaties box to the cover of the Fruit Loops box. Look, man, I don't want to get into that. Okay, if you're 62 years old, Bruce, you're 62 years old. It's a heck of a time. It's a heck of a time to think you're a woman. Okay, all right, whatever, Bruce. I think he wants to change his name to Belinda. I think he's, oh my God. Okay, our friend Bruce Jenner, the winner of the 76 Summer Olympics, throwing that javelin. That might have been his problem, that javelin practice. Throwing that javelin. He won the decathlon 76 Summer Olympics. He was on the cover of the Wheaties box, and now he's on the cover of the Fruit Loops box. That's mine, I know. I'm probably in trouble for that one, right? So let's get into some things that we're going to talk about with Mr. Hinson. Now, we have an election coming up in many parts of the state. And the sticky thing is right now is when they're talking about this transportation bill. And they're talking about this transportation bill in the Gold Dome. And we have a East Blast, okay, an East Blast coming up that you vote on, and 1 penny of your sales tax, 1 penny of your sales tax goes to education purposes. Now, I'm going to allow Mr. Hinson to speak to you this morning on the upside of the East Blast, what the counties get out of that, how the counties use it, and what they do with that money, and why they need it, and they will encourage you to vote for it. Okay. Now, here at FetcherNews.com, we do not say to vote for or against. We allow you to get the information. That's what we try to bring to you. We try to set up interviews. We try to set up discussions of the issue, and then you go to the ballot box and make the decision that you think is best. So we're going to talk to him about that this morning. Last night at the Board of Education meeting in Gilmer County. So if you're out there this morning at the Board of Education meeting in Gilmer County last night, Trina Penland, the Chief Financial Officer or Administrator of the county, Gilmer County, reported from the State Revenue Department that they're looking at, and I don't want to say there's a discrepancy, so I don't want them misunderstood. I think she did a great job presenting this, but they're looking at a loss, Gilmer County Schools, in the area of $390,000 a year, okay, if the bill in its current form goes through. Now, I will tell you, yesterday, they're talking now, they're feeling the heat, but what it seems like they're feeling the heat or taking the most interest in are the city and county governments that are losing SPLOST money. I'm not seeing where they're coming around on Board of Education and schools. Now, I don't know that for a fact. I have an article this morning that I'll go into in a minute. But what we're looking at is it's going to go to committee. It's going to go to committee Thursday. Okay, I mean, it's going to go to the Transportation Committee Thursday. So we're hearing a lot of rumbling about it. We're going to talk about what that could do to your local community. Before we get to that 7:20 hour, last night, Gilmer County Board of Education workshop, they recognized the Fannin Bobcat wrestlers, right? So let's hear it for those guys. Head coach Sam Snyder came to the podium, introduced all of his guys, introduced their weight class, and then and told the audience last night that Gilmer County Wrestling has brought home 14, this is my notes, 14 state championships. And they're going to go down to Macon, and they're asking you to go down there. They're going to go down to Macon, and they're going to go down there to Macon and bring back this weekend. Coach Snyder said they're going this weekend to Macon. Come, be a part of it. Support the team. Come watch these guys bring back 15. So they're going down to Macon to bring home their 15th state championship. That's what Coach Sam Snyder said last night. He also talked to the board. And, you know, a couple things I want to highlight, and that's why I wanted the wrestlers. We want to say congratulations, anybody that brings a state title. Now, wrestling from Gilmer County has influenced all of North Georgia. There is for the most part, every program in North Georgia that has any contact anywhere close to Gilmer County High School wrestling, all the way from youth all the way up, is working, is looking, they look at Gilmer County Wrestling Program, they practice like Gilmer County Wrestling Program, and Coach Snyder and his staff, Coach Snyder always supports his staff. Coach Snyder, all the surrounding counties, Gilmer Wrestling has made a major influence on the sport. Now, if you're in Fannin County, you're in Pickens County, in our viewership area, obviously anything that would bring the popularity of the sport, anything that would bring the recognition, get more kids involved. I know you coaches, I know how you are. You want to compete with Gilmer, you want to beat them, but still yet anything that would bring the sport up to what it has been, I know your hat's off to it, and you support that. So Coach Snyder said two things last night. We want to support the Bobcat wrestlers, 14 state titles. He said two things I want to highlight. He said one, I don't want to quote him, but Coach Snyder said last night, if any other team, and I don't know, maybe if he was saying, you know, that the wrestling is hanging the banners, and they've hung 14. And he said if any other team in Gilmer County, which I know, I'm going to say right now, basketball, football, academic, no matter if you win anything in state, Coach Sam Snyder would be helping you lead the parade. But you know what? He said, hey, if there was anybody else winning a state title in anything, there would be a parade. You know? Second, I want to know something. I want to put it out there. I'm going to get a lot of heat for this today. Was there a minor... Did we just I'm sorry, Gilmer County wrestlers. I got a text that said I've been recognized in Fannin County wrestlers. Gilmer County Bobcat wrestlers. I just got a text that says you just did Gilmer County recognized Fannin County wrestlers. Okay, I apologize. I got a text here. Please, I apologize. All right, now I'm going to see all those guys out there, and they're going to get all over me. Sam, Coach Snyder, did you give a mini retirement speech last night saying you might retire? What was that, Coach? Was that a mini retirement speech? Our hats off. we want to recognize our hats off to Gilmer County Bobcat Wrestlers, 14 state titles, going down to Macon this weekend to bring back to 15, and I apologize if I crossed up my words. But go Bobcat Wrestlers, and thank you for making all of North Georgia recognized in wrestling. So we're getting close to 7:20, and that's where we're at. So I'm going to prepare because I should be receiving a phone call from Mark Henson. So if you're out there now, you're going to want to tune in. And that's Mr. Henson on the line now. So, good morning, Mr. Henson.
Hey, Brian, it's Mark. How are you?
Good, Mark. Mark, before we start, if you get a little feedback, power through it, but our listeners and viewers don't hear that. So let me tell everybody, we have Mark Henson, Superintendent of Schools of Fannin County.
I'm kind of having a hard time understanding you. You're kind of muddled. I don't know, but we'll do the best we can.
Just let me know. I'm sorry, Mark. We're on the line with Mark Henson, Superintendent of Schools, Fannin County, and Mr. Henson, we appreciate you being here, and we know you have a short amount of time, so we want to get right to it. You have an upcoming eSplost, and I've explained to our viewers, but what I would like you to do is tell people what an eSplost is, and I'll give you several of the questions, and you can take off with it. What is an eSplost? What is it used for? And why do you feel that the local citizens should support that?
Well, Brian, an eSplost, or we just call it Splost up here, this is our third Splost that we're on, and it's a special purpose local option sales tax. It's a penny on every dollar here in Fannin, and what we use it for is capital improvement projects. We've made quite a few improvements to our school system, a lot of upgrades to our school system using Splost. Well, if you want me to, I can be more specific about some of the.
What I'm looking at is you have a talk about the election you have coming up next month, and what the significance of that penny is, and why you would encourage people to vote for it, and what they would see for their money.
Well, one of the things we're proudest of, Brian, is we've got a balanced budget. We have not furloughed our teachers except the 1 year that the governor asked us to do that, and we have kept our instructional days at the state required 180. We've kept our teachers employed 190 days. Splost certainly can't pay salaries, but it can offset in other areas where we can use it for projects, and it also allows us to hire janitors because of the offset. But the thing that impresses me the most about it is 30% of our Splost is paid for by out-of-town visitors. This year, we looked at items we would have bought out of our general fund, transportation, buses, kitchen equipment, computer equipment, media equipment, textbooks. And this year alone, we spent $1.2 million out of Splost on those items that we would have had to buy, purchase, and it would have come out of our general operating expenses. We rolled the millage back. One meal here in Fannin County School Board did, and one meal point in Fannin County is worth $1.2 million. So I truly believe that we've balanced budget and lowered our millage rate on the back of Splost.
Well, now when is the election? When is the election, Mr. Henson?
Well, there's several dates you have to be aware of. If you're not registered, you need to be registered by the 17th of February. The early voting starts February 23rd and runs for 2 weeks, and then the general election will be on March the 17th from 7 to 7 out the precincts. Early voting is over at the courthouse on the 3rd floor at voter registration.
Now, I'm sorry. Did you give me the actual election date? I apologize. What is the main date?
I did it. General elections, March the 17th.
March the 17th. Talk a little bit about, now, we can't have the conversation, and you and I, and for our listeners and our viewers, you and I have talked about this already in some length. We can't have this conversation right now without bringing in House Bill 170, and I was at a Board of Education meeting last night. Talk a little bit about what you're hearing about House Bill 170 and some of your concerns.
Well, we're hearing, like other county entities. We're hearing that part of our gas sales tax that we collect from SPLOST will be diverted through the House bill to support transportation initiatives at the state level. The details kind of vague to us right now. Georgia Municipal Association has printed numbers on how it would affect. Honestly, I don't know how they got those numbers, but these are the numbers everybody's using. But just Fannin County eSPLOST would be affected by $533,797 a year.
Okay, well, I guess I got no other way to ask this then. If House Bill 170 would affect Fannin County eSPLOST collection by around $530,000 a year, what do you do, and what do you do to maintain the level of education for the students in Fannin County? What do you do to make up that money, or is that money something you can cut?
Well, Brian, $533,000 is quite a bit of money, but here's what I will say. SPLOST, the current SPLOST we're on is SPLOST 3. During SPLOST 2, we had bonded that SPLOST, and we paid $1.3 million in interest on that SPLOST. And of course, the recession hit us. I was worried about trying to pay that bonding indebtedness back. So what we did on SPLOST 3 was we did not bond it. Fannin County Schools has no debt whatsoever, and unless there's an emergency such as the tornadoes in Ringo or a fire, we don't anticipate bonding this one. That would help us make up some of the money. And I know the board is very supportive of not bonding SPLOST 4, even though the language is in the referendum, like I said, just in case of an emergency. If you were to lose a building to a tornado or a fire, something along those lines.
What would be the effect? And I know it's very important, because what we want to make sure, and I think what is maybe the challenge in the next couple of weeks, is to get make people aware that voting for SPLOST doesn't mean all the money would go to the transportation. So just one more time, what is the total revenue that eSPLOST brings in to Fannin County a year?
Fannin County a year right now, Brian, is a little less than well, somewhere between $4 and $5 million. Because this eSPLOST that we're on right now, SPLOST 3, is going to be a $20 million SPLOST by the time it ends next year, and that's an important point. SPLOST 3 ends on March of 2015. SPLOST 4 would start in March of 2016, and eSPLOST 4 would start in April of 2016. So we're not asking for an additional penny. We're asking for a renewal. So when this SPLOST ends, we'll automatically pick up on the next SPLOST.
Exactly, and I know when you said the numbers are 533 would be the loss. The reason I wanted to bring up the total that comes in is because I want to make sure we clear up any confusion for voters that there's a lot more than $533,000 at stake to vote for SPLOST. Oh, yeah. And let me ask you, I don't even like. Go ahead, sir.
Let me say this. I don't have to put on my glasses. Our last SPLOST check and this would have been for December, was $422,034.85. That's 1 month of SPLOST for Fannin County Schools.
Well,
so
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go, sir.
Well, so you can see that $533,000 is just a little more than 1 month's intake on SPLOST for an entire year.
I guess my question is, and I try to get every side of this because when people go to the ballot box, I think in fairness they should get to go there and make their decision based on the most information we can bring them. What is worst case scenario? SPLOST doesn't pass, and I know you don't even like the thought. SPLOST does not pass in March. Talk a little bit about what position that puts Fannin County Schools in, or a school system out there, that their eSPLOST doesn't pass.
Well, one thing is people ask us why we have the election a year out, because sometimes it confuses people and they think that we're trying to put an additional penny in. That's not the case. just a renewal. But we do that a year out in case stuff passes, so it gives us a little time to regroup, maybe come back to the people and see what they didn't like about that one, and try to tailor another one that people will vote for. If it weren't, if we were to lose it entirely, we certainly couldn't maintain the level of our buildings. I know you've been in our buildings. They are extremely nice buildings, and we don't have the luxury of building these school buildings because we don't have a lot of flat land around here. So we maintain buildings that were built in the mid-50s. For example, all of our elementary schools were built in the mid-50s, with the exceptions of parts of Blue Ridge. We maintain those buildings well. Last time Saks was in here, they commended us on how clean and nice our buildings were. Technology, honestly, we use SPLOST for a lot of technology. Things that you don't see, infrastructure, electrical capacity, those things, all that would go away, I'm afraid. And I'm afraid that it would be hard for us to maintain our buildings in the shape that they are. I can remember I started teaching here. Actually, I was a parapro in the mid-'80s, and the buildings were not real clean, and the roofs leaked. And we taught over box fans in the summer because we couldn't air condition the buildings. We don't want to return to those times. And here's what I want people to understand: we've had this SPLOST now. When we finish this round next year for 15 years, and I hope people haven't forgotten what it was like before we had SPLOST.
Mr. Henson, I want to say a couple of things, and I know you're pushing up on having to be at a meeting, and there's one other thing I want to cover before we leave today. You said that your eSPLOST is generated, 30% of that is generated from people that visit your county and spend money there. Did I get that correct?
That's what the Chamber of Commerce has informed us, Brian. I love to go downtown to Blue Ridge on Saturdays, look at tags, and see all the out-of-town people who are helping support our schools and our kids. I think that's a conservative figure, but that's what the Chamber has told us, so that's what we're going with at this point. But yes, 30%, almost a third, is supported by visitors to Fannin County.
Now one thing that always comes up when I go to meetings throughout all over the state, and I go to Board of Education meetings or when SPLOST is brought up, I'm always hearing that it's a good size offset to property tax, and I know people don't want to talk about property tax, but to maintain the level of services and that you feel is needed or is needed to operate, I always hear that this is a way to offset property tax. What do you say about that?
Absolutely. Just the example I gave you. When we wrote SPLOST 3, if you remember, we were in the depths of the recession. Transportation funding from the state had been cut, educational funding, all sorts of areas had been cut. So we wrote our referendum with 5 areas that are kind of non-traditional SPLOST, but it passed the lawyers and it's passed our auditors. That was the transportation, buses, kitchen equipment, media equipment, technology, and textbooks, both traditional and electronic. Last year, out of those 5 areas, we spent $1.2 million out of SPLOST, and those were essential things that we had to have that would have had to come out of our general fund or our general operating expenses. $1.2 million. When we got our budget built, we realized we had a balanced budget. Not only that, we could lower the millage here in Fannin County property taxes by $1.2 million. Now, every county's property digest is worth a different amount, and that's how you determine what a millage point's worth in that county. A millage point in our county is $1.2 million. It's coincidental, but the savings out of SPLOST helped us lower the millage by 1 whole millage point. We went from 13.9 to 12.9. So yes, it's very beneficial.
If something would happen, a SPLOST did not pass for education purposes, it would just be a very clear decision for the citizens of Fannin County on what level of education that they wanted to provide, and that would kindly be that simple. It's going to cost X, and what are you going to do to? So I don't want to get into that, but I hear you loud and clear. Have you spoke to anyone at the state BOE or state board association concerning HB 170? Have you had talks with anybody down in Atlanta?
Well, we've been tracking it through our professional associations, Georgia School Boards Association and Georgia School Superintendents Association. I have not spoken directly. I intend to go to the Republican dinner on their Valentine's dinner, and I know that Speaker Ralston and Senator Gooch are going to be there, so that's kind of where we had planned on maybe sharing some information.
Also, we want to give a shout out to Senator Steve Gooch and Speaker David Ralston for Valentine's. Okay. All right, I enjoyed that. What is your board saying? What is the feedback from your board? I know you're meeting this morning with them. Is this on the workshop this morning to be discussed? Have you had discussions with your board, and where do they stand on this?
Well, absolutely. The board understands the implications of this bill. Right now, they're taking a wait-and-see attitude to see, the bill never gets through all the levels down at the state and stays intact. So I think they're kind of taking a step back. But no, they're not wild about us losing SPLOST money.
Well, let me switch gears, and I have Governor Deal's budget. Right now, my understanding is bus drivers under 30 hours. Under 30 hours and cafeteria workers would no longer have health insurance under Governor Deal's budget.
That affects every one of our bus drivers. Nutrition workers, I think we're at 3 that it would affect. We've been very proactive on that. Benny Long is very active within the state organization of bus drivers. They have worked against that. We've had the bus drivers in and talked to them about the implications. Right, honestly, just about every one of our drivers drives for insurance. They don't make a whole lot of money. It's insurance.
You know what, Mark? I have a message on Facebook. I apologize. I have a message on Facebook. We put the question out, and it is a bus driver, and that's what you're exactly right. That's what they came back and told us here, was they drive for the insurance, basically.
You better believe it, Brian. I'm going to tell you something. When the economy improves, too, it's hard for us to have enough bus drivers, even with insurance as an incentive. I just can't imagine what this would do. And I do know that both of our folks down in Georgia have stated that they are soundly against this. So that gives me hope, especially with the Speaker being against it, that this will not pass.
Well, it's the governor's budget, so I mean I understand what you're saying. How many bus drivers would that affect? What's the number?
We're roughly right around 40, Brian, that we have.
All right.
And I mean that's every driver.
Yeah.
All of our drivers are under 30 hours.
Well, I had to bring that up. I know that's probably something you guys.
No, I'm glad you did. That's a good subject, and people ought to be concerned. I've got a child that rides a school bus every day, and I want a quality driver, somebody who's there for the long term and who's been trained and who knows safety procedures and those types of things. I don't know, and I hate to say this, and I'm not trying to be derogatory, I don't know what type of folks we would attract to drive those buses for the amount we pay if we didn't insure them.
Years ago, I'm 39 years old. That's a joke. All right. Years ago, I knew very well that our bus drivers basically, I remember my bus driver had a what I called a job throughout the day. And basically, driving the bus was just to supplement that insurance. And that's usually what I found is they have full-time jobs in other areas, and they use that for their insurance.
That's right. We have a lot that are in that situation. They and I want to tell you something too. They're the first person to see a child in the morning and last. So they're like our greeter in the mornings. And what they do is extremely important. They form the initial impression that child's going to have a school system that day, and then leave them with the last impression they're going to have. I won't brag. We got a lot of good drivers, and they will do whatever they are called upon to do. I've seen them deliver kids in snowy conditions. I've seen them work together when one breaks down. They are a fabulous group of people, as are our nutrition workers.
I've been up to the bus driver rodeo. and that is a good group. So we just wanted to get your thoughts on that and who was working on that. Is there anything?
I've had, and I'm proud of this. I've had individual board members without my trying to prod them to do this. I've had them call me and say, "Look, I've called down to CAP, talk to folks about these things." So our school board is extremely concerned about the bus driver situation.
When would you know when is the budget final? When would they vote on the budget and make it final? And what comments are you hearing, if any, coming out of the governor's office concerning this?
Well, usually the budget, that's one of the, in my mind, that's one of the last things they usually finish in the session. So we're talking somewhere on the back end of the 40-day session, I would suppose.
Right.
Could it happen quicker? I don't know. It could. But everything that we're hearing, Brian, out of our folks at the Capitol, there is not a lot of support for this idea.
Well, anything on eSplost or House Bill 170 that you wanted to make sure that we got in today that we did not cover, that you wanted to talk about before we end?
Well, I will say this. We can't post the referendum on our school equipment. But we can post factual lists. So if people want to see what we've completed so far with SPLOST 3, I would urge them to visit our website. There's a list of over 200 projects, and we're still a year out that SPLOST has done. This SPLOST has been an infrastructure SPLOST. Mainly, we've built one CTAE wing, would probably be the crown jewel of this one. But there's a lot of unseen things that this SPLOST has done for our energy management, our security systems, those types of things. So go over there and look at that. It'll give you a good idea of what we do. The referendum, like I said, we can't post that on our website, but the chamber who supports this has graciously posted it on their website. So go to their front page, scroll down to the bottom, and see the referendum. And remember, we talked about bonds, and everybody knows bonds mean debt. The only reason we have that in there is in case of an emergency. If we lost a building to a tornado or fire, we didn't bond the last one. We don't anticipate bonding this one unless there was some type of disaster.
Let me explain this real quick. I understand what you're talking about, bonding in, and you have to put it in there if there was some sort of disaster that you had to recover quickly from. But what you're telling our listeners and viewers is Fannin County School only spends the SPLOST money that's brought in, and that you're debt free.
That is true. We bonded SPLOST 1 and SPLOST 2. SPLOST 3 has not been bonded. Our numbers guy standing in here with me right now, and he says that saves us about $1.3 million that we can use toward education instead of paying debt. I don't like that, Brian. And our school system has zero anywhere, not just counting bonds, but anywhere we have zero debt.
Mr. Henson, I know you have to go to an 8 o'clock workshop. I want to thank you. We've been talking with, and you've been listening to Mark Henson, Superintendent of Fannin County Schools. Mr. Henson, we will cut this segment and have it online later this morning, so if you want to share it on the internet with anybody. So again, thank you and have a nice day, sir. We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you having me.
Okay, we've been talking with Mark Henson, Superintendent of Schools of Fannin County. Superintendent of Schools of Fannin County, we've been talking to Mr. Mark Henson. You heard that interview this morning. I got to regroup here just for a minute. We've talked about the eSplost. We talked about the bus drivers and what it would do. It sounds like to me, that Fannin County Republicans have a they have a Valentine's Day dinner every year. I've been to it several times. They have a Valentine's Day dinner every year, and it sounds like I want to tell you now ahead of time, Speaker David Ralston and State Senator Steve Gooch, it sounds like you're going to get quite a welcome at this year's Fannin County Valentine's Day dinner. So be interested. We'll go up there and get those comments for you and see what they say. Before we continue with this, looking for a special, talking about Valentine's Day, looking for a special Valentine's Day present, birthday gift, or just the right gift for any other special occasion, go to go to Spa Glisten Inc. at their new location at 242 Old Highway 5 across from Ellington Road, open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Get your Valentine's gift certificate today for that special someone. Go to Spa Glisten for unique gifts and spa treatments. Just give them a call at 706-698-2772. That's 706-698-2772. And that is Spa Glisten across from the Ellington Road on Highway 5. Go check them out. Are you craving fresh fruit and vegetables in February and don't know where to get them? Fresh fruits and vegetables this winter, go to Paw Paws across from Papa's Pizza in LJ, same side of the road of LJ Tire. That's Paw Paws. They have vine-ripe tomatoes, Vidalia onions, plus other veggies and fruits that will make your mouth water. That's Paw Paws across from Papa's Pizza on Maddox Drive. Please tell all of our sponsors out there that you heard about them on Good Morning from the Office, FetcherNews.com. Chief, FetcherNews.com. Send me, get involved in the conversation. Send me a message. We've been talking about, before we get into Gilmer County, you don't want to leave now because we've got a lot to go over in Gilmer County that's taking place. But Lady Cats moving on in the state tournament bid, so you want to stay tuned for that. But the Chief at FetcherNews.com, we've talked to you a lot about citizen journalism and getting involved, and if you're going to your meetings, and we thought about last week, because we keep asking you out there that if you're going to your assessor meetings and your water authority meetings and your city council, and the list goes on, and you want to report what you see, or you want to video it and send it to us, and you want to place, because it's FetcherNews.com. But we got to thinking, maybe we want to help you along with that. And there's some things you may not know that you can do, or what you can and can't do at some of these meetings. So we're going to have tomorrow morning, we're going to have our special guest, Nydia Tisdale. Now, Nydia is a citizen journalist. She has a website that's called AboutForsyth.com, AboutForsyth.com. And she's going to, she has become famous in the state of Georgia for citizen journalism due to the coming city council meetings down there, and also Bert's Pumpkin Farm. So we're going to talk to her tomorrow, and she's going to share with you how to be a citizen journalist, what your rights are, and what you can do. So you want to tune in tomorrow. Let's go to. Man, I enjoyed that interview, and I want to say, Mr. Hinson, I appreciate him and his transparency up there in Fannin County. So I want to thank you for that. Let's go to Gilmer County real quick, and let's talk about, I'm going to want to stay tuned, the brackets here. The girls last night, Gilmer High School Lady Cats won 53-30. They clinched, They clinched state tournament bid with a win over Lafayette. So congratulations, Lady Cats. Now, our director of sports, LT Milton, and again, if you have something on sports, send it to LT Milton. LT said they were tenacious defense all night. Tenacious defense all night. Bailey Charles, 21 points. Whitley Reese, 14. TJ Deaton and Emily Reese grabbed boards like... No, wait a minute. LT, you wrote this. LT wrote this. DJ Deaton and Emily Reese grabbed boards like Home Depot half-off special. Okay, so way to go, ladies, half-off special. Now, I want to tell you something. This is Lady Cats. Listen to me out there, Lady Cats. Coach Kim Charles. Hey, Coach, you guys are awesome. And you know what? I've watched all year, and I keep saying that I've watched the wins, I've watched the tight games, and I said going into state, Emily Reese needs to come off the bench and get 14, 2 or 3 threes. She needs to get double digits. And you know what? Way to go, Whitley Reese. I apologize. Whitley Reese needs to come off the bench and get double digits. My apology. Whitley Reese needs to come off the bench and get double digits. I said that. coming into states. Way to go, Whitley Reese with 14 points, and that is strong. So Bailey Charles 21. Way to go, all of you Lady Cats out there. And you're going to be moving on to play Friday night. Lady Cats will play Friday night at 7 o'clock, Southeast Whitfield. So way to go, Lady Cats. Bobcats lost 70-44. Samuel MacArthur was 13 points with 2 threes. Hayden Hoquist 9 points with multiple block shots. So way to go, Bobcat boys, but hard loss to Cartersville, 70-44. And that's basketball. And wrestling, don't forget, Gilmer Bobcat boys will be down in Macon. Wrestlers will be down in Macon to bring home their 15th title. So let's look at Gilmer County Board of Commissioners. You have a workshop, Gilmer County Board of Commissioners. You have a workshop Thursday at 1 o'clock, and that is in the Commissioners Conference Room. Your regular meeting for Gilmer County Board of Commissioners is 6 p.m., and that is in the Courthouse Jury Room. So that's this coming Thursday. Board of Education regular meeting Thursday at 5:30. Again, that's BOE for Gilmer County is Thursday at 5:30. Before we go into some things that took place last night in the BOE, yesterday we got a news release, The Gilmer County or Gilmer Medical, the hospital, North Georgia Medical Center, the hospital over here. The former hospital administrator, Jeff Dunn, was arrested on Friday, February 9th, okay, at approximately 8 p.m. Gilmer County Sheriff's Office detective arrested Jeffrey Mark Dunn, age 48, in Cherokee County, Georgia. The arrest is pursuant to a very complex investigation. I'm going to tell you my thought on this in a minute, so stay with me here on this. Very complex investigation involving the alleged theft of approximately $1 million from North Georgia Medical Center over a period of 2 years. Dunn, the former CEO of North Georgia Medical Center, has been charged with 21 counts of theft by deception at the time of this press release. He is still being held at the Gilmer County Detention Center on $50,000 bond. Even though detectives are concentrating their efforts on the more blatant, egregious allegations, we anticipate the investigation will be ongoing for some time. So let me tell you. Let me read between the lines. Let me give you the BKP between the lines. Complex investigation and ongoing is Jeffrey Mark Dunn. Mine. Okay. I will tell you out there, Jeffrey Mark Dunn, there's 2 words in here, complex investigation, okay? And the investigation is ongoing, all right? I don't think Mr. Dunn will be the only one when this is over. I'm going to tell you, I think it's hard to take $1 million out in a wheelbarrow in 2 years and nobody see you at all. There are a lot of now North Georgia Medical Center is owned by Sunlink Hospital Corp. I think that's their name, and that's the company that owns them. The FYM was told by a source that when Mr. Dunn left, that there was a lot of review looking into his expense reports for some time. It'd be hard to pad an expense report for $1 million over 2 years. I'm not saying it's not possible, and I'm not saying that's what happened. But I'm telling you, when it comes to a very complex investigation, okay, they're looking through records. They're looking through records and ledgers right now. Even though detectives are concentrating their efforts on the more blatant, egregious allegations. We anticipate the investigation will be ongoing for some time. It'll be ongoing for some time because they're going to tear into the books of that place down there, and they're going to get a forensic, they'll probably get forensic audits and numbers down there. And I will say, BKP said nobody else, did not come from the sheriff's office. Don't ask them that. We tried to contact them. Sheriff Nicholson said that he was not at liberty to speak on this investigation. It was too delicate, so he has not offered any more information than a press release. Yesterday we received from North Georgia Medical Center. North Georgia Medical Center has been aware for some time of the investigation. Based on the impending investigation, it's ongoing, North Georgia Medical Center does not wish to comment at this time. We are, however, cooperating fully with the local law enforcement. So, you know what? It's a good community hospital. You have to have community hospitals. We need small community hospitals. So, by no reflect on our nice little North Georgia Medical Center, but I, for one, feel when this thing, and I'm going to keep digging on it, I made a bunch of phone calls yesterday. I do not think Mr. Dunn, I was shocked. If you're in the community and knew Mr. Dunn, I was shocked. So I'm going to say, for one, I'm not thinking that'll be the only arrest in this. I don't think he did it alone. I don't think he did it is an affirmation. Innocent till proven guilty. So let me get that back. I want to back up. I want to apologize right now for that comment. Mr. Dunn, it's an accusation. It's an accusation that he did this. So innocent till proven guilty, but I don't think he's the only one they're looking into. Now, let's get to the Board of Education last night and what took place there for Gilmer County before we leave today and finish up. Did I tell you earlier that Bruce Jenner went from the Wheaties box to the Fruit Loops box, the cover of? Okay, all right. I thought I told you that. Gilmer County workshop last night. Now, I'm going to go into the emails, okay? Let's talk about the emails for just a minute. Now, and there's a reason we want to talk about the emails. Okay. For those of you out there that are watching or you're listening, I'm holding up a thumb drive. This is what's called a thumb drive today. And there's approximately, what I've been told, 6,000 emails in here. Now, there was a lot of uproar. That I made an open records request. FetchYourNews.com made an open records request on December 2nd of 2014. On December 2nd of 2014, we asked for all of the emails, basically last year up to December 2nd, from the superintendent of schools, sent and received. We did not get all of them. But we won't get into that. On December 2nd, I sent the email for the open records request. By law, they have 3 days to produce an open records or present you, 72 hours, or present you with a valid reason that they were working on it or the research is going to take longer. I ended up getting this open records request filled on December 18. So it took them back and forth, and some of you know the history that I've talked about. It took them from the 2nd to the 18th to get my open records request, to get those emails. It took 16 days. That's number one. Remember this. It took 16 days to get these emails. Now, what you don't know is the first email I got, and I'm just going to wrap it up, my first email I got back when I made the request was basically, we probably can't fill that. We can't get them. Google says we don't have them. You know, just general. So basically, the first correspondence back to Fetch Your News was almost like, you're not getting them. Now, that's not, they didn't say you can't have them, but it was almost like that. And then it was a persistence from me. I kept going back. I said, I want the emails. I want them. I asked for them. Now, some of you out there are like, well, what was the big deal? First of all, they're your public records, citizens. They belong to you. It's your records. It's your tax money. It's public. It's yours. So not only did I make an open records request because I wanted to see public records, they're public records, okay, that belong to you. I also wanted to make sure that they would fill an open records request for you out there. So after 3 weeks of back and forth, I finally got 6,000 emails. Now, the Board of Education, now, when I say the Board of Education, it's a letterhead, so I'm not going to say, I don't know who made the decision over there. I do not know who made this decision. But I have not paid this. But I received a bill for $700. $700 to pull those emails. $700 to pull the emails. Okay, where am I going with this? Now, when they first pulled the emails, there was a lot of discussion on the email policy. Was it open records? How much did they have to keep? What did they have to archive? Where did they have to keep it? There was talk of archiving. Now, December 1st, Gilmer County had a zero retention policy on your public records in electronic emails. One more time. December 1st, Gilmer County had a 0 days retention policy for electronic transmission emails, okay, of public record. They had 0 retention days, okay. December 2nd, when we sent this, is when it started to become something to where they changed the policy and your public records are archived and protected. Now, when they started that, they started talking about how much it could cost, okay? I'm going to say, I don't, off the top of my head, some of you that paid attention to the meetings and went to the meeting, Fetch Your News, and they never said Fetch Your News. They never said Fetch Your News, but you see, Fetch Your News does not do an open records request for your emails. Your emails. They do not do an open, we do not do an open records request here. This never comes up. It's a mute issue, right? But because of our open records request, now to archive, it was going to cost the county a fortune. It was going to cost, this is a number, don't quote it, $1,200 a month. Fetch Your News, they never said Fetch Your News, but because of we want to discuss archiving, we want to discuss public records, we want to retain them because they belong to the citizens and their public. Basically, if they started archiving, their first thing was, hey, this could cost the citizens of Gilmer County $15,000 a year just to archive emails. Just because this guy comes over to Fetch Your News and says he wants to see emails, all of a sudden the citizens of Gilmer County could possibly cost $15,000. It's a nightmare. Okay, now that was just the takeaway I got from some of the discussion from on archiving emails. Now, last night, John Call, the technology director of Gilmer County Schools, John Call, approached the podium and let the board members know that Google, okay, you ready? Google will archive the emails for 10 years. It don't matter how many you have, Gilmer County school system, charter school system. Google will archive the emails for 10 years for how much? Free. Google will archive them for free. Period. And now all your records are no longer 0 retention. Okay, days retention, 0 days retention. All of your public records out there that are electronically transmitted through Gilmer County Charter School System's email system will now be archived for free for you citizens out there. No cost to Gilmer County to archive your public records. Google will do it for free. Now, on top of that, they're also going to put a policy in place, so if you walk in and you want to do an open records request that you're allowed to, you can want to do an open records request, they're going to put a policy in place to where it's going to show X charge or what it could cost to pull those records, not $700. Now, my argument has always been the day on December 2nd, for you those out there listening, on December 2nd, when I made a request, FetcherNews.com, for emails. It doesn't matter whose they are. I have excuse me. It doesn't matter whose emails they are. It's public record. Take the name out of it. Well, people quit saying, well, you asked for this person's. Take the name out. It doesn't matter. Public records is not, it doesn't hinge what public records, what name a person has. Public records are public records. Now, in saying that, on December 2nd, when we walked in, Gilmer County School Systems, A, did not archive, B, the emails, B, did not have any idea how to charge for them or what to charge. So the outcome of this is, I told them, they asked me about $700. I said, $700? You want to charge me to do your job? And when I say that, I don't say it lightly like they're sitting over there not doing their job. That's not fair. But they didn't know like what to charge, how to pull the emails, how to pull the records. So actually, the largest portion of this charge is basically them going through emails, not ever doing it or having a system. They're not going to charge FetcherNews.com for not having a system and not having their stuff in place to be able to honor an open records request. Absolutely not. We have refused to pay it. I've not gotten a late notice on it. I've not gotten a demand letter on it, so we'll see what happens there. But, you know, I have said before, a reasonable number, once they put a policy in place and there's negotiations, and if they're due anything, I would be interested in that. But this, I'm waiting on my late notice and demand letter. We'll see what happens there. But I want to say appreciation to many of them over there that worked hard on this. You know who you are over there. You worked hard on getting all these emails together and going through them. But zero cost. Zero cost to you citizens. So if you want to go and put an open records request in for emails, they're going to be put. They don't have it today, so don't rush over there today, and don't go asking for 12 years and this and that. Don't go doing that to kind of, you know, it ties up their time. But there will be a policy in place that says, hey, fill this out. What emails do you want? And give us, you know, search parameters that you're looking for, and it would cost X. They're going to do that. And I'm happy to say that for Gilmer County citizens, and they're going to archive your public records for free. Google is, and won't cost you anything out there. And again, we're going to move on. Local option sales tax, the East Block could cost Gilmer County. Trina Penland reported $390,000 a year. Now, something, I don't have time to go into transportation too deep this morning, but something that has to be looked at in this transportation bill. Somebody's got to take this on other than me. I know Miss Joanne Del Planky has been taking it on and researching and reading. You got to have others out there. I am getting emails from Tea Parties. I'm getting emails from Tea Parties all over the state of Georgia. All over the state of Georgia. And I'll tell you what I've not seen yet. So if you're out there, Valdosta, wherever you're at, Dalton, Gwinnett, I don't care. You need to look at the propane. And I tell you why it could be getting a small look over, being overlooked slightly, is because the cities are not, it's North Georgia. I would say the largest geographic area, if you look at it, the largest geographic area that heats with propane, and gas grill propane too, is North Georgia. So I don't know if there's maybe big public outcry in the cities where they're natural gas, where they're connected to gas, where, you know, I don't know if there's public outcry in some of the other areas. Propane, home propane could be affected by this excise tax. I need you out there to research that. Get it to chief@FetcherNews.com. Get some kind of statement from somebody down in Atlanta to say no, it's not, or clear up what it is. But home propane gas, your propane could see this new transportation fuel tax, excise tax on it. Again, Trina Penland, apologize, ma'am, for that. Trina Penland reported a $390,000 per year loss in SPLOST, and that would be big. Also, 40 bus drivers will be affected. I talked to Mr. Hofstetter last night. 40 bus drivers in Gilmer County, as you heard, Mr. Henson, 40 bus drivers in Fannin County Gilmer County, also Fannin 40, would be affected by the health insurance and the governor's budget. I'm going to read real quick. I'm not going to read the bus driver's name, but we put this on FetcherNews.com, and a bus driver sent us a message, and this comes from a bus driver. You didn't say whether you're Fannin or Gilmer, but from a bus driver on our FetcherNews.com Facebook page. Does Governor Deal know that is why a huge percentage of bus drivers drive the buses is for insurance? What is he going to do when they all quit and he can't get bus drivers? The insurance is considered a big part of the compensation package. I think Deal will go down as the worst governor in Georgia for the poor working class. And that came from a bus driver. That is on our FetcherNews.com, Fetcher News Pritchard Facebook page. Find us. That comment's there. You can read it. So you can read it yourself. So the bus drivers, if you're under, I think it says if you're under 30 hours a week, you're non-essential. Considered. That's what I'm thinking. And that your health insurance will no longer be part of your compensation package. Now, health insurance, this is I don't even know what a catch-22 is, but I guess this is a catch-22 and where it comes into play. Health insurance is hurting county budgets, Board of Education budgets. It's consuming, health insurance and costs are consuming state, county, cities, Board of Ed. You never get anywhere that you don't have that discussion, okay? But maybe the governor's level and getting up to the federal level, maybe something needs to be done on the skyrocketing healthcare cost. The through-the-roof healthcare cost and healthcare insurance through the roof, this stuff through the roof, Obamacare. Look, I don't know the fact, but is that the trickle down? Is that the trickle down? Does it come? I don't know. You can say, no, you're totally wrong. You don't understand why the governor's doing this. Trust me, I'm not taking up for the governor. I'm not taking up for the governor. I'm not taking up for anybody. But my thought is this the trickle down from Obamacare? Is it? Now, you might be sitting out there listening, you might be watching, you might be saying, well, he is taken up for, he wants to give things away. I don't know, I'm not saying give things away. He wants to provide insurance. Well, you know what, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is, if the bus drivers, and Mr. Henson, superintendent of schools of Fannin County, makes a valid point, and I'm not advocating, hey, you cut the insurance, you cut the insurance. I mean, if that's what you say you're going to cut the money and cut the budget with, go right ahead. That's up to you, Governor. But Governor, I want to tell you something. If Obamacare is trickled down to the state and the state's trickled down to the county, if this is, that's my words, Obama, but if the health care costs have gotten so far out of hand and the only way to cut your budget and health insurance is a mess because of the federal government, and it's got down to the bus drivers. Now, people, put your phones down and pay attention. I'm guilty. I check my phone all the time. My wife and I go out to supper. She said, will you please put that phone down? She even wants me to leave it in the car because I check messages all the time. Put your phone down and pay attention. Put your phone down and pay attention. If the trickle down has got to the bus driver's insurance, which most of the bus drivers drive the buses for that benefit for their families to have health insurance. not basically for the pay. If it's trickled down to the bus insurance, people, put your phone down and pay attention. So I'm not advocating, don't go out of here today and don't take away from the program today. Brian is up there advocating that we just need to give insurance to everybody. No, I didn't say that. I'm not saying there shouldn't be cuts. I'm not saying there shouldn't be things in the budget that get cut and get worked through. But if it's come down to bus drivers' insurance and the quality of people to drive, the safety of your children, and that's where we make the cut. So we're going to move on. Maybe I got a little editorial there, a little editorial from me, a little opinionated. But then again, so we've talked about Gilmer Board of Education workshop, and that meeting will be Thursday night at 6 o'clock. We talked about the effect of health insurance on bus drivers, also E-Splost. Now, last night, citizen Joeen Del Planky got up and talked about, and we have it online, we'll have the whole Board of Education workshop. We'll try to get to cut. Now, if you're listening out there, we upload this. If you have not been able to listen to the whole hour and a half that we do, and you're only able to listen to 15 minutes here and there on your radio in your car, or through your car, or at home on a computer, we upload the entire show. Immediately when we go, we upload the entire show so you can go listen to it. And then we clip segments from the show and put it up as fast as we can. So citizen Joeen Del Planky at the Gilmer County Board of Education meeting last night got up and spoke for a couple minutes to the board concerning the HB 170. But once she brought up that, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to, when this show is over, you need to get on the phone, and you need to talk to your cities. I'm telling you, your city council, Board of Education. I am yelling from the highest tree, HB 14, okay? HB 14, House Bill 14. It is definitely something that you got to pay attention to, because it is the Fiscal Accountability Act, and it will not allow local cities, water authorities, counties, Board of Education. You will not be able to apply for federal grants or loans without the General Assembly in Atlanta approving it first. There's a lot of details on that. You're going to want to watch her presentation to the Board of Education. This is something for me, BKP. I'm thinking a lot of boards and a lot of boards are bypassing this and not paying attention. A lot of authorities are bypassing this. I'm sorry if you are and you're out there saying we're paying attention, but a lot of them are not, because I seen last night, and nothing negative there, I just seen in the state legislative report that was given at Gilmer County workshop, watching House bills, HB 14 was not on the list. So you want to pay attention to that. You want to get more information on that. The transportation bill is supposed to go into the Transportation Committee, and that is going to be they're supposed to go to the Transportation Committee, and we're going to talk about that just a little bit before we close. But first, Valentine's Day, guys. Clock Tower Gifts and Boutique, located in Jasper, has Valentine's Day covered. Okay, that's a Clock Tower Gifts and Boutique located in Jasper. They have Valentine's Day covered, guys. You can pick out the perfect gift for someone special. Pandora, Waxing Poetic, and much more. Also, find them on Facebook and look for their exciting new contest. Again, that's Clock Tower Gift and Boutique there in Jasper. And we've told you about Paul's Fresh Fruit up here on Maddox Drive. So, our friends over at Mattress Overstock, if you're getting up to 8:30 and you're still not happy with that night's sleep, and you're thinking, I got to do something about this, our friends over at Mattress Overstock next to Walmart and LJ, go see Gary, Richard, or Rhonda, the mattress lady, for the best mattress at the best price. They truly want to help you sleep better. Don't forget, in Blue Ridge, go to Ace Hardware Blue Ridge. Check out that Amish furniture. The transportation bill This came from a website, bnd.com, and this is an article from Kathleen Foody. I like to look around a little bit, not just take everything from some of the bigger media players. And this article from Kathleen Foody at bnd.com highlights, instead of sponsoring Representative Jay Roberts' transportation bill, said local boards can vote to add up to 6 cents per gallon in excise tax on top of the state's planned 29.2 cents per gallon. Municipal offices would have to agree to spend the money on specific transportation needs, with their share determined by a formula already in use by Georgia Department of Transportation. Roberts is an Ocilla Republican. Now, this is what he said. That's what he said. Roberts said the changes will hopefully. Now listen. The changes will hopefully close the gap for some local government agencies, but acknowledge there may be cities or counties receiving less under the proposal. Now, this is Roberts' quote. Are you ready? I think that everybody is going to have some skin in the game before it's over with. Everybody's going to have some skin in the game before it's over with. This House Bill 170 is going to the Transportation Committee Thursday, I understand. It'll be taken up in Transportation. The bill now moves to the full House Transportation Committee, which plans to meet Thursday. Now, you heard it. Everybody's going to have some skin in the game. I don't hear anything about education. Everybody's got skin in the game. You can add. Now, please, I keep asking every day, send me something. Chief@FetcherNews.com. I don't care what you say. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, say it. If you agree, say it. Hey, I'd like to hear it. Explain it to me. I need you out there. You're my research department. Send me stuff. I get stuff from everybody. But I think everybody is going to have some skin in the game before it's over. Okay, now that's a quote. But here's what's interesting. Roberts said local boards can vote to add up to 6 cents. I'm sorry. I'm not. Look. I don't have the education level. I'll admit that. I do not have the education level. All I understand is the word add. Okay, and that's not Common Core. If you pay this much in tax and you do a plus sign and you add, that means now you pay this much in tax. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Please let me know. Again, Roberts said, I know what you're saying. You said, would you quit telling us that out there? Roberts said local boards can vote to add up to 6 cents. So this much plus 6 equals, I don't know. What say you? Is that a tax increase? Now, Tea parties all over the state are up in arms saying it's a tax increase. Then there's a group that is telling you at Tea Party meetings that it's a constitutional correction. Now, I've heard many people say, even though it's a constitutional correction, they will not approve or support a tax increase. So you have a lot of people out there that will not support a tax increase, but are calling it a constitutional correction. And a lot of people are saying, for the most part, people are saying we got to do something about transportation. But I want to caution you for what I call the Tea Party Trojan horse. Okay? The Trojan horse, the person that comes into the Tea Party and under the guise of Tea Party sells you that you need to relax, that this is possibly okay. So be careful out there, Tea Parties. I call it the Tea Party Trojan horse. Now, I have great interviews because I did them, right? No, I have great interviews because of the guests. I will have this interview with we have done here at FetcherNews.com, Good Morning at the Office, a BOC chairman that's going to get hit, Charlie Paris. That's on our website. we did a conservative action group, watched, I'm not going to call them watchdog group, I don't have their name, but Julianne Thompson. I enjoyed Julianne's interview. She gave me a whole different circle to look at. So that is great information, Julianne. Steve Ramey, co-chair of the Gwinnett Tea Party. A great round view of this, okay? And now we have State Senator Steve Gooch and on there, and now we will have Superintendent of Schools, so Mark Hinson this morning. So we have about 5 or 6 interviews on there from different, I wouldn't call them views, but different ways to look at this and think about it to get you involved, that you can go to FetcherNews.com and you can watch. But again, let's see what happens this week on the transportation bill. I'm not saying, you don't hear me saying on the transportation bill that something doesn't need to be done. I have, we have been brought up, Ms. Toplanky is brought up the propane. I have the transportation bank, infrastructure bank, where a board sets the agenda and picks the projects to be done. I want to see more on that when it comes out of transportation. So we'll stay with you on that. You know what I always say, I can't figure out how Jordan, now we support our troops. We're the United States of America. We have the greatest intelligence. We have the greatest military in the world. You know, we support our troops, our intelligence departments 100%. We're just confused. I'm going to say we're a little confused, Mr. President, how Jordan is finding all these places to bomb, and they're televising them. But did we not have him on the checklist, like places we should go? Why would Jordan even drop a bomb on a ISIS stronghold that we don't know about, that we don't drop the bomb? I don't know. I don't know. And then you got David Axelrod saying that, talking about he hasn't seen Al Sharpton's book, so he doesn't know how bad of a guy Al Sharpton is. And then you got the president saying if it bleeds, it leads, saying that the media is just making a big deal out of a lot of things just to get viewership. So hey, maybe so. Listen, we're gonna go. You know, we want to make sure you understand that Bruce Jenner will soon be named Belinda. It's crazy, 62 years old. Hey, go Bob Lady Cats, go Rebels tonight over at Banks, go Lady Rebels, go Rebels basketball, go Bobcats down in Macon. Go get your Amish furniture at Ace Hardware, Blue Ridge. Don't forget tomorrow that we are going to be talking to Nydia Tisdale. So you want to set your calendars tomorrow. We're going to be talking to Nydia Tisdale about citizen journalism. FetcherNews.com, chief at FetcherNews.com. If you want to get involved, I need a producer on this show from 6 to 9, Monday through Friday. I could use some help. Send me a note, chief at FetcherNews.com. Also, youth, sports, middle school, no matter what it is. If it's in North Georgia and it's in Fannin, Gilmer, or Pickens County, you send it to LT at FetcherNews.com. LT, tell us if we don't have something up. It's Fetch Your News. Don't forget, if you're in Jasper today, the Blue Plate Special at the Woodbridge Inn is spaghetti and meatballs. And as you can see, I make a mess out of this desk, and this is what it looks like when it's over. So have a nice day. Enjoy your day. FetcherNews.com. Check us out on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at FetcherNews.com. Again, enjoy your day.